Hi everybody and welcome to this course guide video here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel for Shi Feng Basin. Please hit thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. If you haven't done so already, both of those actions are totally free to do so. Plenty of course guides available and also academy tutorials to help you improve in all elements of gameplay. So check those videos out. Links in the description down below, or you find them on the channel homepage. Now, in these videos, we're going to take a look at all 9 holes of the Shi Feng Basin, par 4s followed by 5s and then par 3s, talking about general routes and general elevations, how you might want to begin to approach these holes regardless of the game mode that you are playing. So these videos will be helpful in case you're playing tour play, checkpoint challenge or in tournaments. Going to go through some of the shots you might want to take and the routes, and some suggestions of clubs and balls that you might want to use as well. Here we go. Now this par 4 presents a very good eagle opportunity in any decent wind angle, and by that I mean tailwind or crosswind with a hint of tailwind off the tee. So that's the black line, and you want to go aggressive, bounce on that fairway island in the middle of the water and get yourself either on the green or close to green. Now you will need a load of side spin. I would recommend at least 3 bars of side spin. So that would need a side spin 6 ball. But if you have more curl on your driver, then you may be able to get away with using less side spin. Of course, you will need left spin and left curl. General elevation there, I would play 10%, and you want to either bounce on the fairway and then roll out from the rough, or directly into the rough and roll out. It depends how much top spin you've got and what your wind angle is, but you want to basically get to the green for an easy putt or wedge. Now, if you have any headwind, I wouldn't recommend playing that route, especially not direct headwind. Instead, you will need to lay up, and that is the white line. Get yourself down the fairway as best you can. Use a driver with power, top spin, but also favouring accuracy as well, because it is on the narrow side. General elevation, 10% on the drive, and then that will leave you just a standard bounce up approach, because there's no rough available there to rough bump. And because we're shooting over water, I'd be playing that one 10% elevation as well. Measure your club distance. All depends what clubs you've got in terms of what you're going to be playing with, and if you're near a mid or max distance. Depends how you do on the drive, but generally in headwind it is going to have to be out the right hand side. But in a favourable wind angle in tour play or tournaments, this is going to be a must eagle par 4. In tailwind, this is another very, very good eagle opportunity, and almost a must eagle in direct tailwind, in which case I would be playing the white line there. Now this is a hole where in tournaments you will need really to pull out a berserker, power 10 ball, preferably with low wind resistance. If you don't have any berserkers, you could look at what else you've got. Top spin boost is handy as well here if you want to spend one in tour play or checkpoint challenge, if you want to get a bit more distance. But you're most likely in tailwind going to have to get to wedge range, if not putting on the green. A little bit of left curl, but predominantly you will need top spin here. So choose a driver with a good amount of power and top spin. Thor's Hammer 5+, APOC 5+, excellent clubs, Extra Mile 9 if you don't have those as well. Now, if you don't have a good wind angle to blast it, or you don't want to blast, you can lay up on the right side, or you can play down the middle. Now, the fairway is quite narrow here, so an accurate driver is advised, but it's 10% elevation on the drive for both routes. If you're playing the approach from the middle, I will play that one 10% as well. As a general rule, of course, certain wind angles will need you to tweak that a little bit, but hopefully you should get to short iron range, and it's actually possible to get to short iron range on the right hand side if you don't have enough wind push or top spin. You've still got a good eagle opportunity from both of those routes that I've shown on screen. On this par 4, I'm going to talk about the white line first. Now you may think if you get headwind, the white route is a little bit boring to play, but actually you've still got a decent eagle opportunity as well here. 10% on the drive. The key here is getting the line right, because that fairway is a little bit curly and it bends around a little bit, so make sure you avoid the rough. But a good drive on the left will leave you a minimum distance wood club for your approach. Now in tournaments you can dial that one in from the min line, or you can push up a little bit, play with a bit more backspin, but I like the sniper of course for the ball guide. You're not going to need anything more powerful there, so sniper is fine, no need to worry about the big dog or the cataclysm. And now if you've got a better wind angle, then I would recommend you play on the right side with the black line. Bounce on that fairway pad where the red dot is, There's no point, in my opinion, blasting full blast to clear the water. You can bounce over, you don't need too much top spin, but you will need some right spin and definitely some right curl. Depending on the rollout of your drive, you will either be with a max distance short iron or a near to min distance long iron bouncing up for your eagle. So both very good opportunities depending on the wind angle. This is an interesting hole to play in all game modes. If you want to support the channel, you can join us on Patreon. 10% off membership offer. We have club charts there for all the clubs in the game. We have general elevation sheets and shootout sheets for each tour. When there is a tour rotation, we get those out very quickly. And also CPC sheets as well as early access to content here on the channel and some member exclusives. So head over there, patreon.com/BK Golf Clash. On this par 5, I only really play one route, and that's why there's only one shown on the screen. I don't see much point going to the extreme fairway on the right-hand side, or indeed down the left, because if you're playing left side, you can have a very difficult shot to reach green. You need a load of right spin and a load of right curl. But the straightforward route is the white arrows. So I'm going to bounce on that second fairway, where the blue dot is, with some left spin and top spin, and maybe even some left curl, depending on the wind angle with the amount. And you want to get yourself down that next piece of fairway again. Drive distance is going to depend on the wind angle that you have off the tee. But even in headwind angles, this route will still play very nicely. Of course, if you've got loads of top spin, you will get to long iron range, but most likely it's going to be a sniper. And you can either bounce on the island and then between the bunkers, or if you want to play with more backspin, if you've got it available, bounce directly between the bunkers. I prefer to bounce between the bunkers, in my opinion, and if you can get into long iron range, then obviously that is best, especially if you have a driver with 6 bars of topspin. 10% is the general elevation on the drive, and the second shot as a starting point I would play at 0% elevation, as that one is fairly flat. Obviously front tee, you don't need as much curl because you've got more straight tee shot, but as you go second and third tee, of course, they're angled slightly further away from that route, so you will need to increase your left spin and your curl accordingly. On this hole, again, only one route shown here. I don't see much mileage in playing down the left-hand side at all. It's going to make for a very awkward second shot from the second fairway. So I would like to recommend you play with an accurate driver. It doesn't need to be powerful, but I like the quarterback or the rock here because they offer ball guide and accuracy, even at a lower level. So don't worry if you're a newer account player. You've probably got a decent club to play this hole. 10% on the drive. Obviously second tee and third tee will need a lot more curl, but rookies will have a straight shot. Don't go too mad with the top spin. Just park up before that bunker in the middle of the map, and then you're going to have a wood club shot to the green. Obviously rookies, that's most likely going to be Viper, and therefore will be Sniper for second and third tee. 10% on the drive, and then 0% elevation on the second shot as a starting rule, as this approach again is fairly flat. So just the one route here, but a decent chance at the albatross. All about getting the speed right on the second shot if you do want to attack for the albatross. But if you're just playing tour play or checkpoint challenge, hit the fairways and you've got a nice straight shot to the green. This par 5 is very tough indeed, and again only offering really one route generally here, which is why you only see the white arrows on the screen. Now you're going to need some top spin on the drive. Extra mile, Thor's Hammer, Apocalypse. Definitely from third tee, the Apocalypse is a must. You will need a lot of curl as well. Extra mile 9 does give you a little bit of curl, but you will need 3 bars of side spin to the left. So I'd play this one. 10% elevation. Obviously the more top spin you have and power, the better. Same with the ball as well. Power 6 ball at a minimum on this hole. If you've got a very good wind angle, you might be able to play power 4 ball in tour play, but most likely in tournaments it's going to be power 6 ball plus. So 10% on the drive, 3 bars of left spin and left curl get to the top left corner where the tree shadows are. Now here on the approach, if you've got headwind or anything that is a little bit tricky, then I would pack the Cataclysm or the Big Dog and play safely for the Eagle. But in decent wind angles you will reach with the Sniper, level 7 and above. The white line with the blue dot is a standard backspin shot, so apply a few bars of backspin and some side spin to the right, because that will enable you to aim away from the bunker. So I would recommend playing with 3 right spin. The red dot there is the rough bump. I would only attempt that personally if you are taking a practice token or two and trying to dial it in for a tournament albatross. In tour playing checkpoint challenge, for me, this is all about reaching the green safely for an eagle, as the hole is very tricky. Approach there, playing 10% elevation as well. If you want to see some of the shots mentioned in this video, you can check the description down below. We're going to put some links there to old tournament playthroughs and shots that illustrate some of the plays available on this course. So remember to have a look at those. According to your club's balls and play style, you may need to tweak, but they will give you an example of some of the routes and types of shots that are available that will help you out in your games. On this par 3, let's look at the black line first. Now that's for front tee, that's rookie. And most likely it's going to be a safe bounce up with your long iron where the red dot is there, playing with some left spin just to make sure you're not having to aim too close to the left rough. So if you have got a bar or two of left spin, this will help bring the ball in towards the pin. General elevation 20% there, and you're probably going to be about mid-distance of your long iron. Depends what club you're using and what ball power you're using, but as a rule I'd play it 20%. Now the white dot, if you've got a long iron with some top spin, you can play a rough bump. Again, you will need some side spin, and I'd be trying to cut down the wind a little bit on that one. Mainly a tournament route, but if you're brave enough and fancy it in tour play, then it is going to be a decent chance. I would reduce the elevation slightly if you're playing the rough bump, because you haven't got the second bounce wind effect to deal with, but you will need top spin, and if you're a true rookie club account, you're looking at using the Goliath here, and the accuracy isn't great, so it is not without risk. Second and third tee, that route is of course out of commission. You've got to play on the left side, and you will need some right spin here. There's no rough bump available, so this is a tricky one to dial in tournament play. There is a lot of wind angle tweaks needed. General elevation 20%. Obviously the club is going to depend on the ball power being used and also the wind direction you have. But it is going to be backspin and right spin for the hole-in-one. On this par 3, again, the rookie tee has a very simple bounce-up route. No rough bump, no sand bump. Just play on the fairway pad with your long iron, bounce over, and attempt your hole-in-one that way. Not a lot of hazards in the way here, just a nice, simple shot. So get your speed right. Obviously, the amount of spin you need will vary on the wind angle. But generally, aim in the centre of the pad. You don't need much left spin or right spin here because you've got a straight line to the tee. 0% general elevation. Now, second and third tee, I would recommend definitely going for the rough bump in tournament play. And if you're playing tour play and you're dialing in your shootouts, or you're with some clan mates and you've got some guides, then it is going to be the rough bump yet again on this one. Checkpoint challenge obviously depends what clubs you have and what you want to do. You can of course bail out and play backspin if you've got the Guardian in CPC, but most likely a rough bump in all wind angles is going to be the way forward. That is bouncing where the red dot is. The sniper is nice, especially from pro and expert division here, because you've got top spin, accuracy and ball guide. 0% is the general elevation on this hole, but just make sure you're going to reach, because there is a little bit of distance to cover. So if you're lacking in the top spin department, then you might want to play a backspin shot instead and just bounce up with a normal approach. On this par 3, the rookies have a very simple shot here, no rough to deal with, and you're going to miss the bunker easily, so just bounce in the middle of the fairway, find yourself a nice consistent spot with your long iron, and play 10% elevation as a starting point. Second and third tee, this is going to be a rough bump hole. You will need to take care of your pull angles and your wind angle tweaks though, because the rough is not as generous as on some other holes. So you have got room for a minor great with a decent accuracy club, but in certain wind angles you will need to dial in your adjustment carefully. Bounce where the red dot is and apply your top spin. Get that ball guide going with your sniper or other clubs if you've got them with a decent ball guide. 10% elevation is a general rule for that rough bump. You will need to tweak it though based on the wind angle. In tournament play, the rough bump from second and third tee is going to be the way to go even in headwind angles. Just take care that you are adjusting enough and compensating for the wind push, but you've got the best hole-in-one chance by playing the rough bump. If you've enjoyed this video guide, check out the others for the different courses in the game. They will be up on the channel in the same playlist. Lots of stuff to help you approach all the courses that you may face in the game of Golf Clash. And remember, the perks available on Patreon as well. Thank you for watching, and please remember to share this video with your friends and clanmates in the game. Take care. Bye for now.